Hey guys, my name is Kelsey Weedmore. I'm going to be talking about the idea of the real world learning today and how we are going to mesh it with the standards in our classroom. Real world learning is the idea that application of it in the classroom is just as important as meeting the standards. The good thing about the standards in the classroom is that teachers don't really have a certain way that they have to be taught in the classroom. So we really have that freedom to really teach them how we want and pair it with the materials that we want. So with real world learning, that comes in where we can backwards plan and basically figure out the end goal and lay out the standards that we want to teach and put them all together with real world learning aspects so that students can thrive in the classroom, find areas that engage them and that show their passion and really rope it all together. So one thing that I want to talk about is the creative framework that has different levels. So level 1 would be really no real world learning at all. That would include just a test, note taking, single choice question, single answer questions, and that's really not what we're shooting for with real world learning, because we want the students to have to really think critically about their work and be able to apply it to things outside of the school. So level 5 is really the highest critical thinking level that we would be looking at. That's where they are going to be looking at the national and community levels and being able to apply it to those areas. Technology is always involved. So with real world learning, we are looking at it where we are going to give them a choice of how they can show that they've learned the standards, but also apply it to something that is not just school related. A big problem in schools today is that teachers want to take the easy way because there are so many behavior problems and things like that in the classroom. So they think that the way to keep that structure in their classroom is to do minimal movement, minimal activities where students have to get up, and basically they want to avoid chaos at all costs. But with real world learning, that's not going to be the case. However, because of the engagement that comes from the real world learning and students being able to show their passion, there might be chaos in the classroom, but the students are learning, okay? So we might have to set up our expectations really early on in the school year, but the students are still going to learn just as much, if not more, and they're actually going to be able to understand it. They're not just going to be memorizing it. So I looked at an article that talked about a school in Philadelphia. It's a charter school that talks about the arts and science, and they have definitely delved very deep into this real world learning to where students are going out and they're learning things in the outside of the school. So they're going and they're having internships in high school, and they're doing all these things that they're already preparing themselves for whenever they get out of high school. And I just think that's so important. If the students are learning these standards and they're not going to be able to even use them once they get out of school, then there's no point in this. And that is where the backwards planning comes in. So if we think about what they're going to need to know whenever they get out of school, and we focus on things in school and mix them together to where they can decide how they learn and how they show us that they learn, that's where you're going to get students to buy in. That's when they're going to be excited to come to school and they're going to be happy. So that's what we're really going to have to start striving for. We're going to have to start striving for that deeper learning aspect, that real world learning where they are learning about what's going on outside in the world, and still meeting those standards. So they're still learning everything that we need to teach, but we're giving them a choice, and really they end up doing most of the work in the classroom. So thank you guys for listening. Y'all have a great day.